Hello, my name is Gary Spracklen and I am Director of Digital Learning and Innovation at the Isle of Portland Aldridge Community Academy. The following is a recording made on Tuesday the 11th of December 2012 and is an intermediate level overview of Google Docs. This builds on a previous session which you can also find on the YouTube channel, which was a basic introduction to Google Docs. Okay, well, good evening everyone that's here and welcome to this fourth session of Engage, Innovate and Inspire CPD. Tonight is an intermediate session which builds upon the first session that we had at Underhill as an introduction to Google Docs. If you weren't there then or you've missed it, look on the talks online, you can watch it back and some of the things will build upon it. And other things will be completely new tonight and there'll be plenty of time to discuss and chat afterwards and have a go. So I've prepared about half an hour of material and then time to explore really. I'm talking about this because I'm being recorded and so that this can be played back by people on YouTube afterwards. And basically tonight I just want to share with you how we can take Google Docs to the next level really, because in our last session I shared how you can log into your account, how you can set up a basic document and how you can share that with other people. And tonight I just want to explore some of the other features such as the presentations, the forms, the spreadsheets that you can use, and then also how you can use things called Google Gadgets on top of Google Docs to make things even more appealing for learners. Yeah, and that's from the very youngest right through to our post-16 students. So I've started tonight by recording just a 10-minute section giving an overview of some features. This goes very fast, it goes through lots of different things in 10 minutes. But like I said earlier, this is being recorded and it's intended that you can go and watch things back really. So hopefully there'll be one or two things in the next 10 minutes that you can pick up and ask any questions on. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a brief overview on some of the things you might like to try out with Google Docs. This builds on the basic introduction we had a couple of weeks ago, which you can still find online at www.youtube.com/digitalipaca. So let's log into Google Docs. I'm just going to click the email button here on the IPACA website and I'm going to sign in and click through. That's going to initially launch my email. But then if I click the top, I can press Drive and that'll take me through to Google Drive. At the moment you'll see that I haven't got any documents here, but if I want to create a document, I just press Create and Document. And in our beginner session I gave you an overview of how you can use this tool to create documents. And remember, you can invite anyone you want at any point just by clicking Share. The default setting is that all documents created in Google Docs is private, but here we can invite whoever we would like to take part in this document. So we can invite people by name, email address or group, or we can change the general settings. So if I click change here, I can just choose people at IPACA to view this, and they can view it, they can comment on it, or they can edit it. So I want people to just be able to view this. And actually I'm going to keep this private for now. Let's say I wanted to invite some people to this. So let's say I wanted to share this with Rob Russell. I could just type in Rob Russell and up comes the email address. I can choose whether he can edit it, whether he can comment on it, or whether he can view it. I can take this out. Let's say for example I want to do it with a group of students. So let's take 12. I could do 12 people at ipaca.com and everyone that's within that group of students it would be sent to. They can edit. I can also notify people via email and choose to add a message if I want to. So that's the basic share functionality. And as I said before, that's the same for every document that you create. Let's just name this document now. Tester. Okay. And click back. And there's my document sitting in Google Drive. But Google Drive is so much more than just a basic word editor, word processor. There's so much more you can do. So let's click Create and see the other forms that we can make. So we can create a presentation. There'll be great tools that you'll be familiar with from things like Microsoft PowerPoint and Keynote here. You get to choose your theme. And build your presentation. Just like in Microsoft PowerPoint, you can choose to add animation, you can choose to add effects, you can bring in lots of different things. And just the same as with the word processor, there's that share button, and instantly you can share with who you would like to share it with. And there's lots of things to explore here. And once you're ready, you can press present, and up pops your display window, and if you want to, you can choose to make that full screen. And you can present straight away. So really quickly and easily you can see how this is such a powerful tool to use and collaborate with. Imagine giving this to a group of students and giving them one slide each to work on. They could go off, they could do their research, and instantly you have one class presentation that they can then go on and edit different bits of. It's such a collaborative way of working, and really the direction we should be heading in. So let's click create. We can do spreadsheets, we can create folders to put our work into. The great thing about a folder is that you can share the folder as well. So if you had Year 7 Set B homework folder, you could share that folder across the students in that group. It would then appear in their Google Docs, and all they would need to do is drop the work into that folder for you to see it when you log on. I've got a video example of someone in America who did that I'll show you later on. Drawing is good. Drawing gives you a shared sort of paint program. And it's good because it's got inbuilt search tools here. So we could search candle, and instantly we can drop images into our document. So you can kind of imagine using this as an interactive whiteboard tool, because you can make it as big as you want. You can also make it full screen if you choose. There's basic text tools here, so I could do a scribble. Obviously, if I was writing on a whiteboard with this, it would be much clearer than my handwriting here. You can see how that could be really useful on an interactive whiteboard. So that's my drawing. Again, I could have shared that and we could have multiple people working at a time. Final thing I'm going to show you now in this video is forms. If I click form, this is really nice to use in the lesson. You can use this as a plenary activity to gain people's thoughts. I've used it before as a story writing frame that I could then export and use in other places. So basically you can create very simple forms that you can share with people. I can choose some really basic options up here. I can automatically collect respondents' IPACA username, which is really useful if you've got to sign in to view the form. So I could have this as tester. Sample question could be, are you happy today? Multiple choice, yes, no, not sure. Choose to make this a required question. Next one could be list 3 things that make you happy. This could be a paragraph box this time. Again, make it required. Instantly I've got a form now that will collect information for me, and I can embed this as a code here. If you've not worked with HTML embed codes before, they're really quick and simple. All you do is copy and paste this long piece of what looks like quite complicated writing and sometimes numbers. Just ignore what it looks like, and then you go to your blog or your website and you press the HTML button, paste it in wherever you can, switch back to the normal view. You'll see where it's been put and you can move it around, and then that form is there for you. If you go to themes, you can customize the theme of how it looks. So let's take, let's go across. Let's pick this one. My form will now look like this. Then click apply. And instead of getting people to sign in, I can save this. I can then close it. I can go back to the form. And here's my results so far. If I go to form, if I click go to live form, it's going to give me the address. And that's how people can log in and answer my questions. These addresses you often get with Google are really long, very complicated, so I often use a website called tinyurl. Just type it into Google, first thing that pops up, tinyurl. It's a shortening tool for URLs. So if you just type in the really long URL here, or obviously copy and paste it, you could put in IPACA, IPACA tester, make tinyurl, and hopefully, as long as no one's picked IPACA tester before, it's taken the 108 character long URL and put it just into 30 characters, which makes it much easier and quicker to type. That's ready now, it's made, it's completely easy to use. You can copy and paste it into your address bar, and the form should pop up, and there we are, people can submit it. So it makes it really quick for children to put into their jotters or anywhere else. And of course, something I showed last week was the QR code maker. So if you just put QR maker into Google, this one's the first one that always pops up. And here you can paste that really long URL, or the short URL, doesn't matter which one. You can generate a free QR code that you can then save as an image and print off, and then use in your lessons. So that could take you to that form that you want to go to. And you can see how we're linking digital and the analog world here into one thing. So there's just a few things to get you started, to explore, to have a play with, and I'll come back later on and show you some more. But hopefully it gives you an overview of lots of different things you could use it for. I think the basic principle to always apply is that whatever you're creating, whether it's a presentation, document, form, whatever it is, the whole advantage of using Google Docs is that you can share it. You can have multiple people contributing, and it's a collaborative way of working. And the possibilities are endless there, because you can share it with anyone who's got an email address. You send it off to them. The great thing about now having IPACA Google accounts is that all of the addresses are stored in there, so you only got to start typing someone's name and the address pops up. So you can instantly share across campus really quickly and easily, and instantly. It's only for Royal Mail at the moment, but with pupils they can instantly be engaged and share content with. Our intention is to push the accounts right down so that eventually every learner will have their account. As soon as they come into the foundation stage, they will have their account. Whether they use it or not is another matter, but the fact is that as soon as they're an IPACA student, they will have their account, and that will follow them through, because then we can start using it for lifelong evidence and things like that. We can start putting folders for children. So Jackie, you could have a folder for each of the children in your class that is linked to their account. We would set that up for them, obviously, but as soon as you drop pictures in, it's going to appear for their parents to see in their account, and that's just a quick and easy way that we can do it, and it'll be secure because it'll be password protected, and you can start sharing information and evidence and things like that, and you can imagine how useful that could be at higher end to start working collaboratively, homework folders, shared spaces. I think this is all about shared working, really. I love the idea of giving a group of 4 or 5 students the idea of doing a presentation, because normally you just get one student typing it all, whereas they can work on different slides at the same time, they can work on different devices, it doesn't matter, it all works and syncs together, and that's the important thing as well, like I explained last time, is that multiple people can be working on multiple documents at the same time, so there can be lots of people, and I shared a funny video example last time of people racing to type and get their thoughts out, and then that's fine, you can have as many people as you want logged on. As possible. The next couple of things we've got to show you are a mixture of hints and tips and sort of more advanced features. The second one is particularly advanced. If it scares you, please don't worry, still give it a go. But there's a bit, hopefully, a bit of something in all of them for everyone, really. These are things that I'd come across before. Instead of making a video, I've found someone else who's made a really nice video. So it's nice to hear somebody else's voice. This is a middle school. I suppose she's a bit like a director of digital learning, but she's got a different title in America.
And welcome again to another 20-minute tech. This is training for Irving Middle School teachers. This is all on Google Apps and how you'll share a document. This will cover the 3 ways that we're going to share. Students are going to share a document, they'll share a collection, and then the teachers will share a collection. It's all about turning in assignments. In Google Apps, I'm going to show you 3 ways to share your documents and your collections and how students can turn in their homework. So as you see here, on the right I have a student account, and on the left I have a teacher account. So we'll watch this happen as we go. Let's imagine for a moment that a student creates a document. This might be an assignment for a class. We'll call it science. And this particular assignment wants to be finished and turned in. In order to do that, they're going to use the share function, and they can share that, of course, with their teacher. They'll need to know their teacher's email address in order for this to pop up for them. Probably don't need to email the teacher, and they simply say share and done. In just a moment, on the teacher's side, you will see a document appear. This happens to be the student's document right there. It's called science, and there it is, assignment. The problem with this method is that there's no organization. The teacher will end up with all kinds of documents in their list of documents and no organization at all. So let's try a different method now. With this new method, we're going to use the student side again, and they're going to create a collection. Sometimes we can think of that as a folder. And I'm just going to name it with the student's name. So here's the collection that the student has. Back to the home, the student is going to place their science homework inside that collection, and then they're going to share the collection with none other than their teacher. One more time. Let's see that on the teacher side. And over here on the teacher side, a collection shows up. Inside that collection, you'll see it in two places. In the list, and over here, collection shared with me, and inside that collection is the student's work. In the third way of sharing, it is on the teacher's side that the teacher will create a collection, and they may want to name this collection, based on the subject and what time the class is. And this teacher will then share the collection, an empty collection, with all of the students in their class. I will show you at a one-on-one time when you can do this with a spreadsheet. But for now, I'm going to put in a couple of students, share it, click OK. And you're going to see over on the student side that this collection is shared with them. Period 1 science. So the student will take any of their work and place it in the collection that the teacher created. Over on the teacher side, the teacher will then be able to open up any of their collections and see an assignment by a particular student. And those are the three ways to share with Google Apps.
So it wasn't 20 minutes as it said at the beginning. Has anyone got any questions about that one? Okay, the next one is a little more complicated, but just bear with it.
Hi, this is Joan Brown, and I am a Google certified teacher, and I also am in a swelteringly hot place right outside our nation's capital in Fairfax, Virginia. I work at Irving Middle School as a tech specialist, and I'm going to get you into Google Gadgets. A Google Spreadsheet Gadget is a simple pre-programmed Java application that makes data in a spreadsheet interactive. Start by creating a blank spreadsheet. Today I'll be working with vocabulary, so column A will be my terms and column B the definitions. Be sure and select all the cells that contain your data. And now for the magic. Choose Insert and Gadget. You'll see there are lots of Google gadgets, and you may want to explore many of the options in here. Today I'm looking for the flashcards gadget. Click Add to Spreadsheet. The option's already set for your range of cells, so give it a title and apply and close. This creates a small little gadget on top of your spreadsheet. You have some other options though. You can publish this gadget by using the HTML that you copy and paste and embed on a web page, or what I like to do is move it to its own sheet. That way you get a full-size gadget that they can interact with, and I hide the other spreadsheet that has the words and the definitions. So I share out my spreadsheet with students, and they have this interactive to work with. The second demo I have is the word study gadget. So insert gadget and go right to word study gadget. First, I choose what data. Those are my cells. And then I'll talk to you about the three options. I'm using the type in, so they have to be able to spell the word correctly. My hint is coming from the second column definitions, could come from a Google image search. So here's the gadget. When a student types in the term, they must spell it correctly, or it will not give them the correct answer, green light. The two other options are to scramble up the letters of the word, or you can give them multiple choice based on the whole list. It's a really nice gadget to work with. Next school year, if you plan on staging a mock election, the Gauges gadget, if you pair it with a Google form for voting, will make your election more realistic because you can have real-time election results. Here's how it works. So here's what your spreadsheet will look like as students begin to vote. In a few cells to the right, I've done a small formula with COUNTIF so that it'll calculate how many votes for each of the possible candidates. You can see that formula up in the formula bar, and there will be more instructions linked to our website for you to follow. Now just insert, choose gadget, and find gauges. As your election goes on throughout the day, you can post real-time results while the students are voting. Display this on your interactive whiteboard all day, or maybe broadcast it on large screen TVs. Thanks so much for being here for this demo slam. And remember, ask not what you can do for your students, but what Google can.
That's even more in play. But hopefully that kind of gives you an idea that you can start at the basic level and you can share things, but then there's these gadgets, and there are thousands of them. You just got to type in and explore really under that menu that you can dip into and explore, and it's just a way of manipulating what you've created really, especially with the spreadsheets and the data side of things. The possibilities are endless. There's all sorts of different things, graphs that link into it, pictograms and pie charts and all sorts of different things that you can explore really. I'd like to answer any questions now and just have a general discussion. I'm going to stop the recording and we can just chat and share any thoughts really. And people can have time to explore if they want to. We can get some laptops out and have a go. If not, you can go home and have a explore obviously. But I don't want to talk for longer than I need to really, because I think people have their own questions, and we'll leave it there.